just not even long ago, like it was just, it'd be incidents and stuff, that take place, it'd be displays of persecution and things. And my thing is, most of the time, all it really be is someone's been brainwashed, into believing some information that is not accurate, whole, or true. And then that brainwashing leads them to make actions, that's in alignment with the devil. And see, that's the thing. Like, my problem is with that is, if we know, what I'm saying, like we know if we once we learn and understand that it's something inaccurate about the information we've been given, then why continue to follow that instruction in that direction of that, like there's no wisdom or counsel against the Lord, but when it comes to evil and doing things, that against the commandments and stuff, or plot harm against the righteous, or going in the evil way, or just stealing, or anything of that nature, it's like why continue to try to perpetuate a problem with the righteous man instead of going and addressing where the person is, like whoever fed the false information. Why not take the problem back to them? Like, hey, what I'm saying? This or that, what I mean? Like, what's going on in the world, though? You feel me? Like, it's like evil just the natural pattern of the world, man. Like, real talk. I seen so much of it in my life, and then it just, continues and it frolics about. And instead of looking for, an understanding or getting a understanding of what's really going on, we just rather just jump the gun, literally, just, go straight to, destruction and things instead of understanding, about, the decision we making and why we making those decisions, It's brainwashing, man. Somebody been brainwashing. Like I said, I found out, some be having problems, it be problems, like faults and causes and things, even against me as a person, and I don't be having no awareness of. Like I never, I be never knowing that was the situation, or that the situation was as heated as it was, and because there's no reason as to why it should be, there's no rational reason for any of that, in the first place, they're just attacks, man. Like it's just satanic. I mean, but at the end of the day, no weapon formed against us shall prosper in the name of Jesus. I keep that to my heart. Even when the enemy, like he say, be on the watch. Be vigilant. For your devil, your adversary. The devil. He prowls like a roaring lion. Looking to whom he can devour. And that's true, man. Just on the prowl, man. Looking for seeking the problem. It's not my fault that I apply the word to my situations that I go through in my life. It's not my fault, who has a product of that, feel as though, they may, what I'm saying, they might, I don't know what the situation is. That's not my fault or my problem. It has nothing to do with me. I don't make nobody do anything. I don't, like I'm saying, like, in the sense that, if I'm speaking the word, that's the word of God. Anybody that's, born again, they know that the word of God is like the ultimate truth for all believers. Like there's nothing that can touch it, and anybody that loves God and loves the Lord, then, in the spirit, we know in the spirit that those words are spiritually discerned only through the spirit. Anybody who have the spirit know that, those words are just the law. Those words are the law of life, for us. And so when you speak them, then they're the truth, even whether it's against us or not. Because there's been Bible verses in the past when I was growing spiritually and stuff that I felt targeted. But I know that if I felt targeted by the word, then it was my fault. It wasn't the Bible's fault, because the Bible is always right. So if it was something that made me feel offended in the Bible, then that's something I had to correct in my life, And that's just the honest truth, I don't mean I'm finna go out and try to destroy, somebody, that shared the word with me. You know, that's folly. That's not wisdom, you know. And anybody that's born again know that's wisdom. So it be other factors and other spirits into play when it comes to things of that nature. You know, follow the route and of wisdom. You know, that's in the Lord. You know, the enemy desire that I don't see no peace or no happiness, man. My peace comes from within, from the heavens, man. It comes from God, man. Like, that's my peace, because I don't look for it in the earth. And, there's some parts of happiness I may never experience in life, But if it God's, if it be God's will, which I know it is, then he allows it and he sees where that'll benefit other people and not just myself, then okay, it'll be all right, But I mean, that's on him, though. That's if he decide to. But other than that, I ain't really tripping on it. Like, I don't really, it ain't no real big deal. Like, it's like, I just live, I feel joy. I find joy in just serving the Most High. And honoring and glorifying it is all in the name of the Lord. Because that's what I do with my life. Before there was a problem or before, or whether there is or was not a problem, like, that's just who I am as a person. Some things are new. It's been new challenges I've been faced with in things in life. Everybody go through challenges and stuff. I minister, not to just those that's in the light. I minister to the, you have to bring the gospel to the world. That's who God wants, the souls of the lost. And then, he wants to bring everybody to the light. That's what he does. So, we're extensions of his will if we walk in alignment and accordance with his Holy Spirit in all of our actions, and that's what it is. All of this stuff, even right now, even situations that I've just been faced with, things like that, in the believer Noah testimonies and all of this stuff is predicted in the word. Jesus said it himself about the things that we're going through now and seeing right now in this very hour, in this very moment. These are the exact things that was already prophesied. So that's proof for the Bible's authenticity, Like, I'm met with terror, I'm met with grave dangers, I'm met with threats of destruction, by carnal weapons and all types of intimidation tactics. And I'm just, I'm under a heavy attack, and then, like, it didn't dawn on me until, recently what the source of my attack was, you feel me? And it was many sources at first, many persecution, but anybody that follows God and wants to live right and just will endure and will face persecution. I have individuals I don't even know. It actually escalated throughout the years, man. Because it was a point in time where all the persecution was just verbal, and I'm saying the same thing I was back then. It just now as that tier of success, has like. Is actually God has exalted it, past the point where it was due to me, pursuing and seeking his face. Because that's what I want to do. And I speak as a teacher because that's what I'm here for. And that's what God put us in earth to minister to others, And so that's why I speak in the fashion that I do. It's on purpose, because and I use my life as a platform, as an example, because I don't have nobody else's life to go on, other than Christ, because he was the only perfect, so God is my idol, And so that's why I speak from the perspective that I know, because I've lived it. I don't know. I can't speak from anyone else's lifestyle, because I'm not in their shoe. I don't know, them, to the T like God does. And see, God knows me to the T, and I speak these words with conviction and truth, Spirit. Yeah, man, I'm under constant threats and things, just for, and it's really just for succeeding, man, for success. It's wicked kings and princes, and things that, just hell-bent on my destruction because I'm coming and bringing the glory of God. I'm trying to show God's love. I'm trying to exalt the Lord, trying to speak his truth, his biblical truth. And I'm also illuminating, other darkness and things, through my testimonies. And it's not a purpose or a intentful thing, it's just as a product of the nature of the light, then it's the nature of the darkness to recede, because light, anybody knows, in darkness, if there's a light, then you can see, it's just, it's just like nature. You know, it's like nature is something that's just gonna happen anyway. You know, it's not somebody stirring up looking for problems or looking for trouble. That just happens as a result of speaking the truth. You know. But yeah, like I was saying, like in this season here, you know, it's like the persecution is to the highest point though, you know, like I ever experienced. Cause you know, like I say, it started just verbal. You know, a lot of persecution was verbal, and I learned I had to adjust to that. Then it went to violence before, you know, many times. You know, I was attacked, you know, with I'm unarmed every time, and there was so many attempts on my life, you know, and so many attempts to destroy my career. You know, there was times I had no security, you know, no protection. You know, it just like it was unfair, you know, and it was just there was no reason or no cause for it other than I was serving God, you know, and it was even by some of His people, you know, which is weird. So it's, you know what I'm saying, like I'm a prophet, you know, like I ain't got no choice. I have no other way to speak other than direct, honest, blatant, and in truth with alignment to the biblical truth, you know. And there was times, you know, and all I had was God, you know. Many times, all I had was God, you know. There was nobody that could help me, given the situations that I was in, you know, with that the enemy, the devil, had tried to trap me in, you know. And then I see a recurrence of those same things. But, you know, it's like, now it's like it's actually went up, you know, more levels, you know, because the way it is like when you serve God and you pursue righteousness, the righteous make themselves a prey. You know, you make yourself a prey to the world. You know, like everything that's evil sees you as a lion looks at a deer, you know, because you chose the righteous path. And that's the way it's all been set up. Think about how it was when Christ was here. But at the same time, you got to embrace Christ's character to the fullest. You know, knowing the word tells you His character. You know, be courageous. You know, stay faithful, stay loving, stay kind. You know, stay open-hearted. You know, don't get hard-hearted, but, you know, stay in a position where you need to be spiritually, where you can rebuke and use your God-given authority over all evil spirits and all evil powers, you know, like in that sense, you know, evil energy and things. That's what it all boils down to. I was already warned by the Spirit that, you know, if I came into a certain position or even a certain physical location, you know, that I would face certain things, you know, that previously was not a problem. But it's now a problem after God had exalted me, you know, exalted my ministry for Him. And anybody can see my ministry, and I'm speaking nothing but truth. You know, I'm speaking nothing but truth. I'm talking about God. I'm exalting God. So if, you know, what's the attacking, you know, can't love God, you know, because you know, I mean, I'm here. Like, God is here. God is amongst us. And I'm just one of the God's vessels. You know, there's many of us, you know. God just have everybody on different assignments. And you have everybody in different levels, in different directions, you know. We're all the same direction, but doing different things towards the same. It's the same spirit in everybody. The Holy Spirit, you know, anybody with Christ in them, they got the Holy Spirit, you know. And it's spiritual, like it's something that's hard to explain, but you can feel it. You can feel it once you get it, and you'll get it by accepting the Lord as your Savior, you know, and confessing Him as the Son of God, you know, and then He comes into you. And one thing for me, like when I first, you know, jumped in, like, you know, and I came to the understanding of what following the Lord was all about. You know, I didn't know, like I was ignorant to, you know, the concept of persecution at first. Like I didn't know. I heard about it, but I didn't know that was for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I seen where it said it, like I seen in the scripture many times, and it mentioned persecution for all of those who follow the Lord will be persecuted. You know, I seen all of that, you know, but I didn't know that applied to me too until I got older, and things just started happening. Like I started getting attacked for no reason and stuff like that, you know. And so that's when I started realizing, I'm like, wait a minute, you know. And that was the revelation from God. He opened my eyes where I could see. That's what a revelation is. I had a enigma, I'm like, wait a minute, it dawned on me. It's like I'm being attacked. Like, oh, you feel me? That's the fiery ordeal that the scriptures foretold about. He said, don't be surprised at the fiery ordeal that shall come upon you as if something strange were happening to you. And that's in the word too. And so that's when I you know, changed up my attitude towards it. So, you know, it's like just, you know, still staying true, staying firm, staying faithful, staying hopeful. Like yes, I mean now, if I'm looking at it physically, I'm in a position of great danger because of I have persecutions that's now, it's like it's shifted 100% from godly, to satanic, because of envy, and I'm in a position, where, what I'm saying, where destruction has been plotted on me because God has given me a revelation and a prophecy of a truth, of a trap and ploy that Satan was trying to use against me, but God gave me the wisdom to illuminate it, and so because of that, now I'm even being more targeted by Satan because that has been, taken from his arsenal, in a sense, And then, like I said, I look towards the hills from whence my help comes. I know God ain't bring me this far to leave me, even in the face of, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thy rod, thy staff, they comfort me, and that's how I live. That's how I think, I had enemies, enemy and things just, they wait and watch until they think that you have no more aces up your sleeve. You ain't got no more energy in the tank. You ain't got no more spades. Like when they feel like you just showed your hand, that's when it start moving in. All that's in the Psalms. David went through all of this. David went through all that in the Psalms. Every little thing that it's like everything is in the Word already to a T. Everything about life, is in the Word, in the Bible. David had many stories in the Psalms, and then the Psalms filled with a lot of poetry, guys. Lamentations, good times, bad times, sorrows, joys, happiness, sadness, despondency, grief, mourning, and, jubilance. It's like it's all the things. Yeah, but I will say the attack has got more personal, because for my strategy for the long time, my strategy for years, it wasn't alienation, but that's the way, what I'm saying? Like I learned to put myself in a position where I couldn't get messed over. You feel me? And as you see in history, most people got like snuffed out and things, that wasn't following God. It was because they let their guard down at the wrong time or to the wrong person. And then that opened up that door to their destruction, When you put trust and misplaced trust, then that's when that's suicide, And see, that's the thing, like, that's what wisdom is, having the wisdom to discern what's of God and what's not, I see, it's a lot that I've seen, and observed from other people's situations that I learned from other people's ministries, but I never stole nothing from nobody's ministries, I learn and I feed on the light that it gives off, energy. But with other people, that's I don't mess with that, But yeah, it's like, say, you could tell when something satanic, ain't no God in it. Anybody that that pursue destruction of God's vessels, that He's undisputably revealed many times, and shown that it's true, and there's no evil spirit that's influencing this manifestation or this expression of whatever, or this art or whatever God chose to use His vessel to create. Once He make that evident, that hey, this is the case, this is what it is, this is mine. And then if he was still pursue the destruction of it, then there's no God in it. They can't lie and say that there's love of God in it, because that right there, and that's another thing that angers me. I mean, like it ain't bullying nothing. It ain't bullying nobody's none of that. It's speaking the truth. I feel like bullying will be, trying to kill somebody, all the time when they don't even know it. You feel me? For no reason. So that's bullying. You feel me? And it's God, the grace of God that delivered them time and time again. Like, that's bullying. Bullying is not that one time that somebody finally realized, you know what I'm saying, then they start and they speak the Bible, the word, the holy word over their own situation in their life. That's not bullying nobody else. It's just like the time when Jesus, was confronted with it was, when he got off the boat and him and his disciples was faced with a guy, I think a guy that was possessed or something like that, and then that's what it was. And then he asked the name of the demon, and then they seen Jesus, they knew the Son of God. Then all the demons, they felt like that God, that he was there to judge them. He ain't do nothing. Jesus just stood there, and then the demons inside the guy was like, it's not our time yet. You come to judge us. And that's the thing, like, he didn't even come to judge them. He didn't even do nothing to him, But then when he told them to leave, they were asked to get in the pigs. And the Lord sent them in the pigs. And all the pigs, they jumped off the cliff and killed themselves. Because the pigs were the swine in the Bible. And then the demons left the man. It was about 2,000. It was a legion of them. It was a whole lot of demons. And they left out, and then they went into the pigs. And all the pigs jumped off the cliff, killed themselves. And I just say that story, to show that, it's just the light, man. It's just the light. The presence of the light automatically just affects darkness, Like, you ain't got to do nothing, you feel me? Just being there. It ain't nothing you did in the past. It ain't no fake mistakes that somebody can make up. It ain't none of that, It's just being there, I'm a rational-minded human being, you feel me? Aside from, of course, spiritual. The spiritual is outside of intellectualism, you feel me? So, I think I put thought into what I say, and then I put thought into what I do. And I put thought into my actions, how I interact with other people. I'm not out there playing games, there's always, a message and a lesson behind something, and that's something God taught me. And even when he had me prophesying to other people, I'm still able to, to pick up something from what he trying to tell somebody else. So God works in amazing ways, This is what I live my life by, the word of God. All the other stuff I have no knowledge of. It don't have no dominion over me, because there's no legal right. There's no spiritual legal right, for any of that kind of persecution, from those forces. And it ain't the law of the land, it's just, the matter, it's just the truth, like the way it is, like. And anybody that's in a position, man, when they grown, they started from nothing. They was nobody. Then, God flipped them around, made them to something or somebody, then all of that's gonna come with its own piece of persecution, So it's like, of course, man, you get past the point, you ain't out here, fighting battles that God already won. You ain't out here fighting battles that, security deal with, You feel me? It ain't even that kind of thing, I ain't finna be no fool, and get involved with things. So Satan has plots, man, and then God keep dropping revelations on me even as I speak, And Satan plots, man, to try to set you up strategically to get you in positions close, to where it can destroy you, where he can have a doorway or access to you to destroy you from the inside. And you don't never see it until, God opens your eyes to it. Which might be later. It ain't right. It ain't right, But, that's the pattern of the world. That's why you say be vigilant. Because I'm telling you, spiritual warfare is not a game. This shit is serious. It's serious, man. You ain't battling with just like, like straight, straight up carnal methods or carnal warfare. That's if it go wrong, spiritual warfare, see, Satan used a lot of psychological warfare against humans, and then it causes them to use it against each other. So it's chess moves, and that you make it, just to survive, And when you living in a light, you don't have that. You trying to live like that without violence, without evil, without scheming, without finessing, without playing. You feel me? Without doing nothing, that God says not to do. without doing something, without stealing, and not hurting nobody, and loving everybody, and loving your nature, praying for people. That's what the light is. You don't have that extra, that extra reality to play with. And that's the best thing, because if you can do it and you can pull it off, then you make it to heaven, you make it in eternity, and then you'll be rewarded by the Lord. And me being who I am, it's just that era of freedom and liberty. The era of liberty, to be able to live a life without having to worry about, being attacked, or being, having to worry about, any kind of obstructions between you and the Father, or you and your dreams, your goals, and hopes. That liberty means a lot to me. Me as a person, I'm just speaking for me. I'm sure as others though, that liberty is what I need. Satan been trying left and right for years to take that liberty away. To do something to render me lifeless, or render me to a position where, I can't I can't do anything. Those has been his plot. He's been doing it from numerous types of plans, plots, and strategy. I see things way before they happen. I see threats and I see stuff coming. Then when I reach it, and then it's already there, then I already knew it was gonna happen. So I already made provisions for it. Just like I see now next steps in the future about when certain persecutions shall befall me. Or attempt to destroy it. As the enemy only comes to kill, steal, and destroy, but the Lord said, I've come to give them life, and life so they can live it more abundantly, it's crazy, and it was direct and it was blatant as to it left no questions as to who or what it was or why, and so, that right now, and see, I can't say no questions because as still is distortion campaigns, like, smear things, and ain't no telling like what's said of you, you feel me, when you been targeted before. And there's a lot that's in the air that never been resolved and disbanded. And when you do disband it, or disprove it, then that's when Satan want to come for you, But my God is a shield, and faith is our shield, And I just believe. I believe firmly in the Lord, I know He is my deliverer, my fortress, a very present help in the times of trouble. You know, don't add magnifying glass on the trouble though, you know. Add it on God's power, his strength. God's strong enough. God defeated the world, you know. He's stronger, he's bigger than the world. He created the world, you know. He didn't create evil. He created the world. You start seeing some stuff, you know, when you start pursuing your dreams or your goals and you actually make it. You feel me? Things start changing up, you know. And I've been in a position where, you know, where I was down bad, you know, for the longest, you know, and I ran across many that, you know, was in position to, you know, help a brother up, but they wouldn't do it unless it was at their terms, unless, you know, I do something that's compromising my character or compromising God, you know. And that's the only way. And so, you know, you see some, you know, and they in a position to where they're not facing the same perils that you have to face almost on a daily basis. And so they take that for granted, you know, and they don't even, you know, think to try to, you know, pull you out of the situation before you destroy it because say it. You feel me? Before you know what I'm saying, they don't want to help you or give you a hand up, you know, out the situation before it consumes you in the eyes. You know, they want to see you be consumed. You know, because whatever you embracing and you exalting the glory of God is taken away from their own glory, you know, their own vain glory. And they want it. They don't want, you know, they want more attention than God in a nutshell, you know. And by you, you know, and you know, me being the man I am, you know, I love the Lord, you know, and all I want to do is lift his name up and I apply my passion, my talents, my everything towards the uplifting and exaltation of the Most High. And that takes away from anybody that's trying to exalt themselves, you know. And so some be in a position, but it just be plots, man. You know, if some might lend a hand up, but you know, it's to your destruction. And some might be genuinely, you know, real people, but they hard to come across, you know. It's hard to tell the difference, you know, because you know what I'm saying? It's so much, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta have faith, you know, as God to lead you through. I relate, you feel me? I relate, because I know I ain't the only one that, you know, that want to use whatever God gave, you know, to serve him or give it back to him as, you know, a token back, you know, so it's gratitude, you know, it's gratitude. And everybody ain't got the same, you know, intention. Everybody ain't got the same dreams. Or the, you know, the same, ain't heading the same direction, you know, that's fine, you know. Just God ain't never twisted nobody arm, you know, to serve him or follow him. He just wish that we will out of love, you know, love for him. You know, it's like it's never over, man. Like, I know a lot of stuff, man, I just should not have ever had to go through, man. Like, it's some stuff I'm going through now I should not have to go through. Like, the average person, like, I mean, it's just ridiculous stuff, man. And I'm like, why, you know, why this? But God always showed me that he with me. Even now, so, man, it's different in this season because God been, like, showing me that, you know, he been showing me a lot. You know, he ain't give me the, like, he ain't tell me to say what exactly, so I'm not going to share that information. But God been showing me some things, you know, and it's shocking, it's amazing, you know. I do know that the attack on Monday is very real. And, you know, you got to test every spirit that you cross, you feel me? See if they of the Lord, you know. Every spirit, he say, test it, discern, you know. Don't let emotions cloud reality, you know. Don't let how you feel cloud the truth, you know, or blind you to the truth, you know. Reality I had to learn through, you know. I rest behind the wings of the Most High, you know. I know they come with me. The Lord has my soul. So I'm alright. Matter of circumstance. About the situation. You know. Yeah. Keep pressing on. In spite of. In spite of.